But I'm always talking about Mike Hanson and the fellow he's got that does Mike Hanson Archives. It's mainly a lot of new news stuff. Mike has got all the really good tapes of like me protesting the Klan and the cops pointing guns at us when we're protesting them, the snipers, and just unbelievable stuff. So, Mike, for one reason you're here, you're saying send my crew down there. Fine, I'll send my crew down there to get the really good stuff and get it on there. I appreciate you guys doing it. And I was offering to pay your guy to do it. He says he does it volunteer. But how do we get all that epic stuff nobody's seen on TV?
Alex, it's not like we hadn't been doing anything. You know, we've put on Mike Hanson Archives on YouTube, it's all about Alex Jones.
No, I don't care about that. I just want the old stuff because I haven't seen it.
Okay, folks, breaking 2022 news. Alex Jones has gave us a channel on his Infowars.com banned.video. All you have to do is go right up there to banned.video on Infowars.com and go right down to Mike Hanson Archives. And you can see all the gold that Alex Jones have been asking for years.
This is what I live for. Yeah.
I was like, why did you just tell me about that?
No, it's not at all.
I can
have all the gold.
It's the best and most comprehensive book on Bohemian Grove, and it's written by Mike Hanson, my old camera guy.
Mike Hanson Archives. I love Mike Hanson Archives. Yeah! You're ready to run.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll over.
Form. All right, folks, we're live. It is, Thursday night, about to be Friday morning, and it is, the 16th of, 17th of July, 2003, and you can see an exhausted Alex Jones up in Kansas City a couple months ago, and we're going to be taking your calls tonight. If you want to join us on air, it's 477-2288, 477-2288. If you're watching, this is a live show here in July of 2003. At a later date, of course, this will be re-aired as a tape of a live broadcast. A lot of news that I'd like to cover. Congressman Ron Paul addresses the U.S. House of Representatives, July 10, 2003. Neocon is the title of his speech, and it's a 15-page speech, and it's by the Liberty Committee. Well, on this printer, it was 11 pages. Political Action for Principle. And he has the most conservative voting record in Congress. Of course, he's from right here in Texas. His district is just south of Austin. And he says the ultimate threat in this speech is the Republican Party. And he says that they have conned the American people. And you can read this speech that Ron Paul gave before Congress at thelibertycommittee.org/neo-con.html. Or you can just go to Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com and read all about it. And he says that we have been scammed and conned by the Trojan horse Republicans, who in truth are giving us bigger government, less liberty, more gun control than Bill Clinton was ever able to. Because fake conservatives are able to neutralize the good Americans out there whose hearts are in the right place, but that are easily conned by someone if they have the proper label. Also, one of the big news stories, I interviewed the family, the father and the daughter, on my syndicated radio broadcast today in the first hour from 11 to 12. And we'll be posting that interview on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com in the next few days. There was a story out of the New York Post yesterday that spurred me to get the family on the show. College whiz kid, Court KO's college whiz kid. And if you want to know the agenda of the government, you read the story about Angela Lipsman. At 15, she's graduating from college with honors. She has a 3.84. So a 3.84 grade average. She's in the top 1% of the accredited major college in Manhattan. And so due to this, she was in the paper last week, it says, for having, at 15, having a very high grade point average, and all her friends now well she's doing in college. And it says here in the article that a judge and the CPS thought that was abusive, so they're filing criminal charges against the father.
Stay tuned right here for more classics.
Watch out for martial law. When he's out there watching after you. If he's a tool of the bankster, he's a badge-wearing gangster, an agent straight from Interpol. Watch out for martial law. He's there to prove who owns the muscle and might, and he just might pull you over to the side of the shoulder, cause he cannot see your license plate light. Because he cannot see your license plate light. Ain't it a frightening feeling when...
Okay, this is Victoria, and we came up here to support her in Williamson County. They're trying to steal her children, and I want you to tell your story about what happened today and what they're trying to do to you here in Williamson County. Thank God you're getting out of Williamson County.
My rights are about to be terminated on my daughter. She's my 8th child. My rights were terminated on my other 7 children. They were removed from my parents' home, and my dad was only under suspicion. He was never charged. There's no case number. He was only charged he was only accused of it in 1996, and I was incarcerated for an $80 check from 1988. And I went away for 2 years for an $80 check. And when I come back home, I have a house within 30 days and a job and everything I need. And I was made so many false allegations that I'm a drug addict, that I don't have a house, I don't have a job, and all of that's false. But every order that CPS would bring to the court, the judge would sign it. And my rights were terminated because of those false allegations, malicious prosecution, false prosecution. The judge hates me, he hates my father, he hates my family, he just hates us.
Why do he hate you, ma'am?
He hates us because I didn't sign any papers to get my father arrested.
Why would he hate you? Because you wouldn't sign papers to get
because
your father
CPS, in exchange to get my kids back, I would have to send my father away to prison for a long time. I would have to bring false charges that he raped me, he molested me when I was growing up.
So really anybody
sell your soul for a Tootsie Roll?
I had to sell my soul for a Tootsie Roll. I had to sign papers that my father molested me when I was growing up, so my father could get
Are you a victim of any kind of child abuse?
No, my father never molested me, but I had to sign papers to get my children back. That was
so somebody just basically called to CPS to get something started. So just off the word of somebody calling in, they turn around and did that?
So they just made up whatever they wanted to make up.
Why did they take her babies from her?
They told you to show up here today, here in Williamson County. You live in South Austin. What happened? Tell us what happened.
What happened is I went in the courtroom and CPS wasn't here. The court was rescheduled for April the 4th at 2 p.m. of 2002, and I had no recollection of it. I never got any notice in the mail of it, and the judge let me know of the reschedule for the court. And I don't have an attorney, and he told me that,
Hey, but you know what? Bottom line, she didn't get no notice, but she showed up. This is the most important point.
A lot of people
Nobody else wasn't here, but she was here for her babies.
Yeah. You know, tell your story where we can get it down.
Well, the whole deal boils down to this. She got 8 kids took away from her through Williamson County because allegations brought against my dad. He was never charged with a crime. He was He was, I mean, he'd never seen one day of jail, and they just jumped up, popped up one day and just started taking our kids. And it's sad, you know, that we live in a society like this. And then along with CPS, and she went through all the counseling and everything else, and because she didn't sign papers against my father, they made her life impossible.
She was a wise woman.
They made her life impossible. And I witnessed, my whole family witnessed, the whole town of Taylor witnessed what they done to my sister. And they done the same thing to another friend.
They treat you like an animal over here, like you don't have any rights, like you're still in slave time.
You go, girl.
They treat you like animals here. We don't have any rights. We don't have any constitutional rights. It's a lie. And the whole court system is involved. The judges is involved. The county attorney's involved. The whole system. If you go against one, you go against the whole county.
Come on. So, hey.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, Mike. I'm telling you, it is ridiculous that what she's been through, the thousands of dollars. She gives Stuart Whitlow in Round Rock, Texas, I don't know how many thousands of dollars, and he come here and he had lunch with CPS. They sat down and drank coffee and laughed. He didn't say one thing for my sister, and we didn't know at that point that he was a court-appointed lawyer also here for Williamson County. And we just been through so much, and we want her 8 kids back, and we need them back.
Why do you need them back?
That's our family, that's our blood.
That's family. That's the point, family. And this lady is crying.
She never abused her kids.
I've never abused any of my children.
Show them your babies.
Put them up
and
close,
if you knew
sweetie.
anybody was hurting your babies, what would you do?
Turn it up a little bit, sweetie, because you got it sideways.
And you said they stole that one right out of there.
I just go nuts to protect them. This child is Jennifer, and they're trying to terminate the rights on her. They were trying to terminate them today, but it was a reschedule. And this child got this hernia right after they took her. I was breastfeeding her. She was 2 weeks old. I had just had her, and they just took her. They took her. They just grabbed her. There's no abuse going on. I was with her 24 hours a day, but I was living on my father's premises. A man who was only under suspicion in 1996, only under suspicion, no charges, no arrests for child abuse, and the police in Taylor came with CPS to pick my daughter up on March 15th, and they took her and they threatened that they called a transit car to lock me up and press charges on me if I didn't let this 2-week-old baby go. And she got a hernia. When she got in there, she cried so much for breast milk, her umbilical cord exposed.
Ma'am, you said your father was accused of child abuse.
Yeah, but
who was he accused of child abusing?
One of her kids.
One of your
my
children.
Niece, my
but
niece,
there was no ground.
CPS got together with CPS down there in South Texas. A lady by the name of Patricia Salinas got together with CPS here in Williamson County, and they made her life impossible.
They stalked us, they made her life miserable.
She went for a psychological evaluation. She done everything the courts asked her to do. She got her house.
I got 3 perfectly well psychological evaluations. CPS, Denise Montemar and Kim Gibbons begged every doctor, psychiatrist, psychologist they could to say that I was crazy, and I have a perfect mental history, psychological history. I'm perfectly well. I passed every psychological exam evaluation with flying colors. I've been to 2 colleges, a high school graduate, been to 2 colleges, have college credits, and in 20 minutes, 3 weeks before the termination hearing in 2000, of May of 2000, in April of 2000, Dr. Mary Fear, she diagnosed me as mentally insane, psychologically ill, and I needed years and years of medication and treatment, that I was a sick child, that I needed to be in a mental institution in 20 minutes. I've never seen her in my life. But that was to be used 3 weeks later at the termination to terminate my rights to my children. Finally, CPS got her to lie and falsify the results of a psychological evaluation. A licensed doctor in Hidalgo County.
And I think, let me just say this, I think any sane woman would fight for her children. I think you're insane if you don't fight for your children. She wants her children back.
Yeah.
What did you learn out of this experience, first of all?
That the system is crooked, the system is dirty, the system is illegal.
That there is no justice. There's possibly just us. This is what the young lady said. But baby, you know what? I understand you. The passion and the pain that you are expressing, a lot of other women that are incarcerated, you are free, and then you will reschedule. There are women, especially black women, incarcerated, and they can't get out and go to court to fight for their children back. And the court system set the battle up at the time when they know these mothers are incarcerated. If you're incarcerated, how the heck you gonna go and fight for your children? Mike asked me to come, and I'm here because Mike asked me to come. You know what?
Thank you.
But I want information for the people back in Austin, and so we can embrace them and let them know. Hell, this shit is still happening from then. It's happening from
Well, this is happening in Travis and Williams County and every other county. Because it's a money-making business for them to steal your children.
Yes, it is. Child Protective Services get from the state $2,000 in grants and state funds a month per each child that they can detain from their parents.
How much?
$2,000 a month. And they distribute $1,000 to the foster parents, and they keep $1,000 for their funding. And when they do finally terminate your rights, the state gives them $250,000 per child.
Yeah.
For terminating your rights.
Yes. Okay. I want you to look in that camera. Let's let her look into this camera, and you tell Austin, Texas. You tell them what they're doing to you and how you feel about this, what they're doing with your children.
I feel that everyone in the court system is dirty. That the CPS are liars. They're malicious and false prosecution, malicious prosecution and false prosecutors, and they fill the court reports full of lies. And the judge doesn't care what I have to say or the mothers have to say. All they care is what CPS has to say, and the judge signs every court order just about the CPS rights. They don't care. The judge is just with the state. He wants to take every kid. He helps the state take every kid that he can away because it's a money-making thing for the state. I don't know how each of them get money out of it, but they're doing it. They're doing it.
You were accused of leaving your baby with a child molester or a child abuser or what?
I was accused because I was living on the same premises in an RV trailer near this supposedly designated perpetrator. I was only living in the premises. I never left her.
Yeah, but
you protected your child. What you're saying in all times, you never left.
I never left her
personally with him a long way. He could do anything to her.
Never. I hardly
in the court did they prove that you left her along with?
No, they didn't. They just took her, and the judge signed the orders. And he said, "We have probable cause. We're keeping her." My father he's 100% African American. They don't like African Americans in this county. They don't like Hispanics Americans in this county. I'm born and raised in Taylor, Texas, in Williamson County, so I know with all my heart how it is.
Well, I just want to say this also. I tell my sister, once we get out of this ordeal, if we make it, let's go back down to the valley, Trobayuco, west side. It's no fair shake here in this county. We was raised in this county, we went to school in this county, we paid taxes in this county, and
good point.
And they just violated our constitutional rights. They just come through our house, they just took the kids. I mean, when we come to the courtroom, we didn't have one chance at all. Not one chance. They fabricated allegations and they put things together on us that wasn't even true, things that we had never heard before. And
okay, so you said they came through your house. I want you to dress up.
They come to the house.
The Austin citizens and the citizens
they
that are going to view it. When they came to your house, what did they do? When they came to your house, please tell us.
They done the same thing in the valley. They come to the house. They took the kids. They took the kids. They just come and just take the kids.
I moved to Hidalgo County because I was being threatened so much by the Child Protective Services in Williamson County. I left and moved to Hidalgo County and got me a house immediately. And they put a protective order because they didn't want no communication between me and my children. So I had to see my children in a little room twice a month. And then I had to have the Mission Police in Mission, Texas, Hidalgo County patrol my yard, to patrol my street, because Patricia Salinas and Denise Martimar, which is Denise Martimar's from Round Rock CPS, she kept going to the valley on the plane trying to pick up Michael Brian Vance Jr., my 4-month-old baby, trying to just pick him up, just take him, to make it look like I'm an unfit mother and bring him back to Williamson County. And she succeeded. She just picked him up and had my mom sign a document. My mom didn't want that child, and she brought him back. She brought him back to Williamson County, and I haven't seen him since. And that's 2.5 years ago.
You give me waves back on them?
Yeah, there's that forum came by here since we've been.
I think we better roll then.
Yeah. Well, well, she didn't finish her story. And now tell what's going on now. What's your plans in the future?
This guy with y'all?
Well, I'm trying to find the best attorney that I can, somebody who's willing to come over here and this illegal court system, and stand up because people are afraid to come over here because they can't believe that they can't believe that this court system is so crooked and so dirty and so illegal.
And you've seen it firsthand.
And I've seen it firsthand. And I'm trying to get some judge. I need a federal judge. I need a federal courthouse. This judge hates my guts. He hates my father's guts. Because my father's not
your kids.
And we
hates my guts too.
We also hoping to catch some type of national attention on this case and on this situation. Once they go through all the paperwork and everything, they will find out the truth. They took her kids for nothing, for no reason at all.
They'll see it on Access TV in Austin, so that'll be a start.
And like I say, you know, thank you a lot. Thank y'all a lot for supporting us and standing by us, and we need more people like y'all in this system.
We need more people like y'all to stand up for y'all family and y'all loved ones. And
Mike Hanson, you're a good guy.
Oh, Mike, that's a good guy.
Hey.
You're a fantastic guy, man. Hey, look here. Peace out.
Yeah.
Surprised at who hear you. You'd be surprised. It's okay, sweetie. It's okay. I love you. I don't even know you, but I love you because I can't go where you go.
It's not fair to steal children.
My mom. And my mama was a poet. And my daddy had 2 months. And he never brought me a Christmas gift.
I just want to say, Christy, Joe, Cornelia, Mark, Sandy, Maria, and Mike Jr., if you're watching, I love you with all my heart. I'm going to fight to the last breath in me for you guys. Whatever it takes, I'll go to the ends of the earth till I get you guys back. If it kills me, I'm going to get you guys back. In the name of Jesus.
She's going to go down fight. There you go. And that's love. That's recorded. And you too, brother. You want to say anything to your
that's it, man. Like I say, I appreciate everything, and hey, y'all keep y'all good work up also, because hey, I know if we can get people like y'all in these offices, a lot of things would change. They look at you at a certain level in life and they just step right over you see. So money here, and it's all about the money here in this county. And like I say, we need peoples like y'all, Mike Hanson, we need you peoples to get these positions, these offices, and whatever, to help peoples out like us.
Well, we need y'all to get out and vote.
Strong voice.
Tell everybody to get out and vote.
Everybody get out and vote for Mike Hanson, and I'm gonna throw West Side for all you homeboys out there in the valley. If y'all get a hold to this tape, and people that's living here in Williamson County that's going through the same thing we going through, I hope they get their hands on this, on this tape.
Organized.
Your wife, your sister can be, and you can be leaders of this organization. Y'all need to organize.
We're gonna work something out. We're gonna work something out here in God's name, you know. We love our family. Don't nobody want their kids living in other people's houses for no reason at all, you see?
Yeah.
We love our kids. Just like these people love their kids, we love our kids. Don't nobody want their kids spread it all over the United States. You can't talk to them, you can't go visit them, you can't go see them. It's a business, man. It's all about money, man. I even said in the courtroom, it's all about money, man.
It's political and financial.
And this Juergens guy sat there on a stand. He go home and eat dinner with his kids every night, you know. He's got a good, he's got his family together, but here we are spending thousands and thousands of dollars struggling, trying to pay rent, trying to get our family back. We want our kids back home. We love our kids. That's what we want, man. That's all we shooting for, you know. We can take care of our kids. We can probably make more money than they make, you know. We live better than they live.
Not when they tie you up in court all day.
No.
That's the problem, sir, and that's what I want to address.
So, like I say, you know, it's destroying us, man. We ain't gonna stop till we get our kids back in this county. And if it take 10 more years from today, we're gonna do something. We want national attention on this county right here. We want national attention on what they're doing. And it's 5 other families here in this county that I know of that they done took their kids away from them also.
And come over here and tell us how you feel about your sister one more time, because she is such a lovely person.
I love my sister, and I watched my sister struggle through the years, and I love my sister, and I watched my sister struggle through the years with this whole situation, this whole ordeal. Say this, Mike, man. We need more peoples like you in office, man. And like I say, man, if we can get, I hope you get this commissioner deal over there in South Austin, man. You'll help a lot of us, man, out. Because these peoples, once they get in these offices, all they think about is the money. They forget about the people. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem here in Williamson County. These people don't do nothing but think about the money. They don't care about your kids, if you're making it this or that. They thinking about the money, man. That's all they worry about. It's a money system set up here. So, hey, man, good luck, man. And I'm going to be voting for you, and I'm going to be out there working for you, man.
Good. God bless you.
Hey, peace out, bro. Peace out.
And we had them on today. They are moving to take her from the family. And they put it in the New York Post like it's normal and good. They say it's abusive that she has a 3.84, that she's graduating with her bachelor's from college, going on to attain her master's. It's horrible that she's already getting offers from Fortune 500 companies. And I see articles like this every day. CPS, I've seen many articles where a 12-year-old wins a spelling bee against 17-year-old public school seniors, and CPS comes a-knocking and says, you never registered with us as homeschoolers. We're going to file criminal charges. This is the new America. And I've read on this show public published UNESCO founding documents, the United Nations Educational and Cultural Organization, that writes policy for the Department of Education, and we're signed on through treaty with that, and Bush just expanded our connection to it. And Aldous Huxley, who wrote Brave New World, his brother was a big eugenics person, big Nazi, and he was the first Secretary General of UNESCO. Huxley gave a speech at Berkeley in '62 and said that he got his ideas for Brave New World from his brother in the 30s, that was the world they were trying to build, that he thought it was bad. So that's where all this comes from. And we have UNESCO documents where they say, quote, the family's a disease, must be eradicated. They must mold minds, not be questioning. I mean, this is official. And then the teachers are mindless drones that just carry out their lesson plans designed to neutralize critical and free thinking. And here's a story out of the memory hole, another Orwellian term, and it's specifically out of the 1888 Senate Committee on Education was getting jittery about the localized, non-standard, non-mandatory form of education. It was actually teaching children to read at advanced levels, to comprehend history, and it goes on to think for themselves. The committee report stated, this is from the Congressional Record, we believe that education is one of the principal causes of discontent of late years manifesting itself among the laboring classes. I mean, I try to read a newspaper from the 1880s. They got words 14 feet long, and the average person could read it. Not today, but you do know how to cheer at a football game and beg a cop to not hit you too hard upside the head with his nightstick. And, oh, officer, thanks for your black ski mask. I know that's what good guys wear. You know, we're just totally mindless. And it goes in to talk about, it's page after page of official statements and documents of how to dumb kids down. And I've had the former head of policy in the Reagan administration, number 2 position, Department of Education, Charlotte Iserby, on many times. She's got a book out the size of a Dallas phone book full of official government documents. And it was the official policy of the Reagan administration covertly to dumb kids down and to expand government and control people. And so you call him a conservative. It's just like Bush. I mean, for the mindless liberals out there, you should love Bush. Every federal agency exploding, destruction of liberty, compulsory national service, control, everything Bill Clinton couldn't get done for you, George Bush is. You see, there's no difference between you guys. But here it is. I interviewed Angela Lipsman and her father, Daniel Lipsman, and it says that CPS has been called in with criminal charges due to the fact that she never attended a public school in New York and never filled out forms with them, and that they want everybody to know, that the state wants everybody to know, and the school board, that and the judge, the Albany Supreme Court Justice Bernard Malone, that this will not be tolerated. 3.84 grade average at 15, graduating with her bachelor's. And talking to her, you know, she hangs out with all the college age girls and guys and is involved in sports and enjoying her life. She's not learning how to snort cocaine or how to worship Nike tennis shoes. She is missing the Channel 1 TV ads they have the kids watch. She's not learning how to be frisked or to be searched or to live behind barbed wire or to thumb scan to get her school lunch. She's not learning how to give a urine test. She's not learning. She doesn't have Jean Muir in her classroom giving her criminal charges for being late to class. I'm sorry, she's not enjoying all that. And the father had never heard my radio show, and he said the schools here in New York are like prisons, and they want to train our kids to be prisoners. And that's just his native intelligence understanding exactly what it's about, because the documents stated that that's the plan.
Stay tuned right here for more classics.
Okay, folks, we're back with another horror story here. We got Olga going to tell you her story of how the CPS has absolutely destroyed her life, too. Go ahead and tell her. And we're going to have to get her an interpreter because she speaks Spanish. Go ahead.
Yes, and I'm Victoria Castillo, and I'm here interpreting for Olga Alvarez.
And they've stole your children, too.
My 8 children have been stolen from me, and CPS is after my 9th children. No abuse involved, no convictions, no court records, only false accusations by CPS to make money off of these kids, that I am a bad mother. They tried to force me into signing false documents to incarcerate my dad for the rest of his life, and when I didn't do that, put an innocent man behind bars. I've been living without my 8 children for the last 3 years. And here's Olga's here to tell you her story.
Has another story. I mean, how many women am I going to have to go through to let y'all know out there that this is a problem? It's a very, very serious problem in Travis County, and now I'm starting to find out that it's going on in Caldwell, Williamson, Gonzales County, Hayes County. It's going on everywhere, folks, all over the United States. Somebody needs to stand up and say, no more. Stop using our children as an industry. Okay, Olga, tell us what you want to say to the people in Austin, and then she will interpret. Tell her to say her story. Speak up. Speak up.
Se llevaron mis 3 niños.
Olga's 3 children were removed from her custody.
Stephanie, Ricky, and Gabi.
Stephanie, Ricky, and Gabi.
And I went to, let me just say this, I went to the trial, and I can vouch for you. There was no abuse, or anybody didn't say anything about abuse. They just took her children.
Her kids were just taken. There was no abuse, any kind of proof of abuse in the courthouse.
They came to the school and got them.
CPS came to the school and got those children.
Okay, what would you like to tell the people of Austin, Texas, especially Precinct 4? Because the people in Precinct 4 need to know that they start there and then they're spreading out from there. They need to know in Precinct 4.
Ellos fueron nomás a la escuela a agarrar mis niños. Fueron a la escuela, mi niña tenía 12 años, la más grande. Y fueron a hablar con ella, ella dijo que nomás fueron a la escuela y alguien le llamó de su cuarto y la pusieron en un cuarto y a esas mujeres fueron a hablar con ella, que era esa Leslie Ontiveros y Natara Haskell. Pero yo entonces en ese tiempo yo no sabía cuáles eran los nombres. Cuando yo fui a recoger mis niños, los chiquitos, ella se vino caminando, porque la escuela de ella está cerquita. Entonces cuando ella llegó a la casa, ella me dijo que 2 mujeres habían hablado con ella, yo le dije quién eran, ella no sabía, y ya las mujeres de CPS ya estaban tocando mi puerta. Y entonces entraron y ellas se metieron para adentro, era esa Linda Juárez y esta Tara Haskell, pero entonces en ese momento yo no sabía que se llamaban así, hasta ahora yo lo sé, y traían un policía. Ellas se entraron y esta mujer me puso a mí en la cocina, la Linda Juárez, y la otra, la Bolía, la que era americana, se fue con mis niños para atrás. El policía se quedó parado en la puerta y entonces ella me empezó a amenazar. La mexicana Linda Juárez me empezó a amenazar que si yo no decía la verdad, que me iban a hacer cómplice de mi esposo y que más valía que firmara ese papel que tenía ahí, que porque si no me iba a hacer cómplice, y que mi esposo había tocado inapropiadamente a mi niña. Y entonces yo le dije que mi niña nunca me había dicho eso y que si lo había pasado eso, que pues que entonces que esperara que viniera mi esposo, que él iba a llegar. porque él no estaba en mi casa. Mi esposo durante toda esa semana había estado en Houston por trabajo. Y entonces ese día era viernes, porque fue el 12 de mayo del 2000, y yo le dije, espera a mi esposo, que él va a llegar ahorita, y ellas no quisieron, y me empezaron a molestar que firmara el papel, y yo no lo quería firmar. Ella, nomás la Linda Juárez, y yo traté de hablar con mi cuñada, que ella está en Red Rock, la hermana de él, y que se llama Irene. Entonces yo traté de hablar, y ella no me dejó hablar, y me dijo, cuelga el teléfono, y yo no me dejó hablar, y no había nadie que me ayudara. El policía nomás estaba parado en la puerta, no decía nada, y la otra mujer estaba atrás allá con los niños en mi cuarto. Yo no sabía qué estaba haciendo con mis niños. Entonces, cuando yo voy mirando, esa mujer, ya tenía mis niños con las maletas hechas.
Tell them you want your children back. You tell them you want your children back.
Y yo quería que mis niños no los llevaran.
Así empecé yo. Audience, I want to tell you.
Tell her what she said.
Olga, her story. Her kids were taken from her, and she's been fighting for them for 2 years. The CPS went to the school and interviewed her children without her permission, three of her kids. And then they followed the kids home, and they came with the police. And the police were standing in the door. And this is in Lockhart, Texas, in Caldwell County. And then Olga, they sat her down at the kitchen table, and all the CPS caseworkers were forcing her to make an unlawful confession that she was a witness to her husband's abusing her children. And Olga, is the mother of these 3 children, standing here, was telling the CPS that it never existed. She knew nothing about it. And then they kept telling her they were going to make her an accomplice. And then they told her to pack the children's bags. And all she could remember is CPS hauling her off with her kids. And she hasn't had them in 2 years. And it's hurting, and it's devastating, and it's awful what CPS is. CPS is stealing and using our taxpayer dollars to keep these kids away from us good parents. We're good parents. We don't use drugs. We have our own houses and our own jobs. And CPS is stealing all our tax money and all the money they can get from the federal government, and have to meet a quota, get so many kids a year to keep getting these funds, grants from the government. And it's all a money-making racket. They're rich.
And they're starting out with the poor people, and y'all better understand out there, once they're done with the poor and the minorities, they're coming after you folks.
They're coming after you.
And you better start getting people in these local offices that give a crap about what's going on to these people, because this breaks my heart, what's going on here. Okay. They are stealing people's kids. How would you like your children to be stolen, to be kidnapped? How would you like that?
Open your eyes, public. CPS is stealing all kids all over the United States for money. It's a money-making racket. It buses loads a year. It's a money-making racket. It's a lie. It's not true. The majority of these kids are not abused. We're good parents. We're not on drugs. We work every day for a living. We don't steal and kill. It's a racket. It's a lie.
And if you work for the CPS, you need to give us a call at 292-0070, and if you have to go against them, we'll put you in the dark. We'll put you in the dark where people can't see your face, and change your voice, or whatever we have to do if you want to come out against them, because we know that there's corruption going on right now, and we're going to find you out before it's over with. But the main issue is we need to vote these people out of office that are doing this to these nice women like this. I'm tired of this. It's dozens and dozens of women that are coming to me. And I'm tired of listening to these stories. Either y'all get out and vote, or you accept what's going on.
Or it's coming to your neighborhood soon. It'll be knocking on your doors. It'll be happening to your kids and your grandchildren and all your friends and everybody you know, even you. It's coming to your doorstep, because CPS is going to take every kid that they can until the laws are changed.
And here's 3 women in court right now. Come back over here. You have Victoria and Olga and Joanne. You have 3 women here that did not deserve to have their children stolen by the CPS. Now, this is outrageous, folks. Somebody needs to get on the ball and do something. And the first step you need to do is you need to get out and vote. You need to vote for somebody that's going to stand up for your God-given rights.
Yo les dije a ellas que si mi esposo tenía la culpa, que ya va a llegar él, que se lo lleven a él, que para qué se iban a llevar mis niños. Y ellas no quisieron esperarse que él llegara, y se los llevaron.
Olga, specified to the CPS the day that they took the kids from her house. She specified, if you have something against my husband, if you're accusing my husband of abuse, well, take him. He's coming from Houston in several days. Wait to take him. Why are you taking my children? You have no proof. You haven't accused me of abuse. Why I have to suffer without the kids? Why the kids have to suffer without me? The one you're saying is the enemy here is my husband. Why are you coming after me? Go after my husband.
Well, hold on. Let's make sure that the audience knows that I done a complete investigation about what went on with her husband. Tell her that I know what went on with her husband, and that was false too. Even if it's false, they still take the children and say it's at risk, right?
Yes, Mike Hanson was there at the courthouse. He did a complete investigation. He was through the whole trial. This Olga Alvarez's trial, the lady standing here, and he was a witness that there was no proof that this man anything ever happened, any abuse ever happened. And he still was found guilty, and the kids are still withheld from their mother who raised them.
Education has succeeded beyond the government's wildest dreams. The drug war is a great success. And you're going, wait a minute, what do you mean? You said they're dumbing them down. You said the drug war has triple the heroin, double the cocaine on the streets, and more Americans in prison than anybody else in any other country. Well, that's a success. Government's grown, more power, more control, and more of the crisis agent they need as a pretext for domination. The bigger the education funding gets, the dumber the kids get. The lower the test scores. The more anti-poverty funding, the more poverty. The bigger the war on terror gets, the more terror. I mean, have you not figured this out yet, folks? And the globalists know you don't read Department of Education policy reports where they admit that they want to destroy your family. There's a big study out, as if we needed a study. There's a bunch of them, where if your kid goes to daycare, they're like 5 times more likely to use drugs, alcohol later in life, to be violent, to end up on Ritalin or Prozac, because there's mean kids in daycare, and then your kid will become mean as well. One mean kid out of 20, you get a bunch of little demons. Well, of course, the government wrote policy reports in the 50s about destroying the nuclear family, promoting the breakdown of society, having a drone-type system. This is encouraging divorce, illegitimacy. Those are young males that will end up being in the prison system, young females that will end up being the clerks and minions. They make it fashionable for both husband and wife to work a couple jobs. Then the kids are raised by TV in the public school. This is the system. And then you can both work for the government, in their factories, and you work 6 months out of the year to pay your taxes, which is all put into social control to destroy the society. So I thought you might want to know about Court KO's college whiz kid. And it says a 15-year-old Manhattan girl whose parents sent her to college instead of high school has been told by a judge that she can't get her associate's degree even though she's got enough credits, as city officials launched an educational neglect probe against her dad. Oh, that's another thing. They've said that it doesn't matter if she's got a 3.85, graduating with her first degree, going on for another degree at 15. They've told the college that they will be charged if they give her degree. And in the past, if the dean or the board wanted to give you a degree, you wouldn't even have to. They've given medical license to people that didn't go to college, folks. They give people going and pass the bar all the time. It's up to the college. It's up to the professors. It's up to the experts. But you've got the government saying we don't care if she's got a 3.84. We don't care if she's done all this. She can't have her college degree. Her years of college don't count. And we're starting educational neglect probe. And they've been called by CPS and told they're planning to try to take custody of her and move her out of the house. So she'll be in some flop house, with some puppy mill type deal where there's 10 kids in the foster parent house. And, they beat them if they eat too much. You're 5 times more likely, again, to be abused in foster care. She may even get rented out, how a lot of these foster parents do. It's big business. And there's no oversight of that. And the father says he'll die before he lets that happen, which means he's with Al-Qaeda. He doesn't submit to the government. He's with Al-Qaeda, basically. That's the new system. By the way, out in Albuquerque, they had the forest fires. The troops have stayed and they're telling people it's indefinite. It's part of Homeland Security. And they've announced that Homeland Security will be for all crime, and you will not have any rights under Patriot Act 1 or 2. And yes, it's for all citizens.
Stay tuned right here for more classics.
Mike Hanson.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Hanson. I came here to give you, the police, a few suggestions today, not to make any recommendations on your program here. Decent, law-abiding citizens have a right to both liberty and privacy. So as long as we're not violating somebody's person or property, this is one of the cornerstones of living in a free country. My own brother is an APD officer, so don't get me wrong. I am for good, honest, well-trained peace officers. But let me make it clear, we will not tolerate a bad cop. I told my brother, if good officers do not speak out against the bad officers, then you're all bad. Lately, it's become clear that it's the police versus the people. I think that's wrong, and I come here to make 4 short suggestions to the police department and the city council. First, number 1, stop treating us as criminals. Start protecting our God-given rights and follow the Bill of Rights. That's number 1. Number 2, stop wearing Army gear, black ski masks, camouflage pants, combat boots, black uniforms, and using tanks against the people. You are not at war, and you are not in the Army. You are peace officers. I was in the Army, and they are trained to kill and break things. Peace officers should be there to protect and serve and to save lives only. Number 3, stop using your peace officers as revenuers. Number 4, all we want is for the police officers to treat our families like they want their families to be treated. Thank you, and God bless.
I've lived in Austin 7 years. I've never been pulled over. I've never been even given a speeding ticket. I have no criminal record. I came here 7 years ago to work on the PowerPC microprocessor Motorola. I studied at University of Illinois in Purdue. I've been here since, working technical jobs. Recently, I'll get into my story. The event that I'm speaking of began at 10 p.m. this past Sunday evening, a time I was not at my home in South Austin. My fiancée Gwen was at home, and at that time, 2 officers, again in the last 48 hours, identity still unknown to me, rang my home doorbell at 10 p.m. Sunday night. Gwen told these officers, while completely in shock, that they were looking for me, and at that time that I was not home. I was told by her later, early that Monday morning, that they chose not to believe her statements, answer any questions she had, and force their way past her into our home and search my house, our house, and my property out back. However, they were then presented with the fact that I was simply not there, the irrefutable fact that I was simply not there. I immediately called Mike Hanson, candidate for Travis County Commissioner Precinct 4, who I highly recommend, that at 2 a.m. that evening on his cell phone. He called the Austin Police Department, and then they would not release any relevant information to Mr. Hanson and hiding the police officer's identity and why they were searching through my house at 10 o'clock on Sunday evening, this last Sunday evening. That next morning, Monday morning, I called the police officer starting at 9 o'clock. I called the public information office and spoke to as many people as I could. Their names were Mike, Rick, Adam. All along the entire day, I could not get any information. All I got was somebody will be getting back to you. Mike will be getting back to you. That never happened. But yet again, a police car drove up to my house this Tuesday morning, today, just a few hours ago, or several hours ago. I immediately called Mike Hanson again, 656-0521. When the police officer found that a video crew was on its way, the police officer left, and right before Mike and his cameraman arrived. I feel this was a blatant violation of my Fourth Amendment protections, a violation of my fiancé's and the roommates whose bedroom they entered Sunday evening as well, and waking him up. I know I have a right to know who my accusers are, the names of the police officers who illegally entered my home last Sunday evening at 10 p.m. with no warrant and no probable cause.
Well, is any way that you can keep my number, and if anything happens before this situation gets out of proportion, blown out of proportion, can you call me too? Because I really have checked this situation out, and that's what I promised to do as the county commissioner. And I know that this guy is not a threat to anybody's person. And that's the only thing I'd be concerned about. If he's a threat to his wife or his roommate, I would be concerned too, but I just don't think he is. Yeah. Okay, I will get a hold of him now. I'll get a hold of him within the next 30 minutes, and I'll have him call you from my cell phone. All right, God bless you. You hear? They got it. Hey, take it.
I don't know who filed this report. Where did this come from? It's confidential. An anonymous tip can come have people storm through my house at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night. I'm doing just fine.
Give no information.
Absolutely not, and not in any way. I'm a peaceful, loving, law-abiding citizen of the United States of America. Well, good. I hope to get along really good with the police. You're through? Okay. I'll let you talk to Mike. I'm a cool guy. All right. All right.
Hello. That was it. Oh, they're supposed to call it. His sergeant's supposed to call me back. Sergeant Hampton, this is Mike Hanson. Is it all right? Everything fine out here? I can leave now? Well, hold on. Joel told me to stay here until I heard from a sergeant.
There's a bunch of other news reports here that I have. I've got one that we posted on prisonplanet.com from the London Times. You know, I see these all the time, but that's a London Times article posted on Prison Planet. Liberal California confronts years of forced sterilization. And it says, highlighting a revelation showing that California was not always the home of liberal policies. Well, of course it was. Margaret Sanger, chief liberal, gave awards to Hitler, got awards from Hitler. Liberal, conservative, all the same agenda, different window dressing. Highlighting a revelation showing California was not always the home of liberal policies and politics. It's a liberal paper using their own group's crimes to make liberals look good. And what does that mean? You're not liberal at all. You're a bunch of control freaks. The state is considering a formal apology to at least 20,000 people who were sterilized against their will between the early 1900s and the late 1960s as part of eugenics programs designed to strengthen the Aryan gene pool. The program was sanctioned by the Supreme Court, provided a blueprint for Adolf Hitler's Third Reich, which borrowed heavily from American laws when introducing forced sterilization for its own undesirables. This went on until the late 1980s, folks, right here in Texas. And in California, it wasn't the 60s. I've interviewed people. If you were a single-parent home, white, black, Hispanic, didn't matter, and you made under a B+, CPS would drop by with the health department, and a lot of times they took you for medical experiments at the local medical school. Now, that sounds like a Silence of the Lambs type movie. You know, you're chained down, medical students. They would do some of the live vivisections while you were awake. I've interviewed these people, and it's even been on PBS and stuff, but they're sorry. The government won't let that happen again. Sure they won't. And just like this was okay back then, you all think abortion's good. And you think what Hitler thought was great too. But see, you're so conditioned. And don't worry, Bush will keep your abortion going. They're all for that. It's a hot button issue for them. But this is the type of article. And listen to this. Other eugenics enthusiasts included Charles Goth, founder of Eugenics Society of Northern California, who said in 1929 that the Mexican was eugenically low-powered as the Negro. He not only does not understand health rules, Being a superstitious savage, he resists them. Today, Goth has a public park named after him in Sacramento, the state capital, although American eugenics was practiced mostly widely in California. 31 other states had similar programs to clean up the gene pool. And they don't take down, they don't get rid of the black people just love the Margaret Sanger. I mean, they love somebody who went and had meetings with Hitler. They just love him. Jesse Jackson just loves Margaret Sanger. They just love her. Black Masons basically worship, they got pictures of Albert Pike in their lodges, the founder of the Klan. It's all a flip-flop, folks. It's not what it seems. Let's take some calls, and I'll get into some other news. But this is your government, who you trust, going after 15-year-olds who are graduating from college with 3.84s, sterilizing people, using DU in Iraq when the Army's former head who investigated it says it is killing our troops and others. You know, I listen to so-called conservative talk radio. I just got to say this. It's an advertise for genetically modified food, how good it is, and how anyone who says it isn't is a lying communist. It's an advertisement that the sweatshops really aren't that bad. This is what I hear now on conservative talk radio, that the Patriot Act doesn't take your rights, and that Bush is good because he's going to sign the assault weapons ban, and protesters against war should be arrested and put in forced labor camps, Michael Savage and others. And I heard this whore, Neil Bortz, locally on the radio, lying and saying that Michael Savage never said put homeless people and put protesters in forced labor camps. I've listened to the show 15 times and heard him do it 8 times. So the neocons all lie for each other. Government's growing, liberty's being destroyed, the border's wide open, all this, and they call themselves conservatives. Well, Ron Paul is a real freedom lover, whatever term you want to give it. And he just gave a speech before Congress called Neocon, where he says the greatest threat is the co-opting of the neoconservatives of the conservative and libertarian movement in America, and that government has grown and loss of liberty has grown at record levels under them, and that they are Trojan horses for socialism. Ron Paul. His website, the Liberty Committee, Neocon. That's it. And I have been on talk shows, syndicated shows, and I've mentioned Ron Paul, and the guy will call in and he'll go, I voted for Bush, and you and Ron Paul are secret liberal agents lying about him. He isn't going to sign that assault weapons ban. That's made up. And the host will go, well, actually, he has said that he will. Well, I guess it's all right then. You know, I've heard them. It's not about substance. You know, Bill Clinton's a horrible criminal, did all these horrible things, but he's just a puppet. And I would expose him, and mindless fascistic neoliberals, same thing as a neocon, just different mindset on the surface, would argue and go, oh, you're just an evil Republican mad at Clinton. And I'd be, no, I'm against corruption. It doesn't matter who's in. You know, you guys are all blind. And you think you're so liberal, you think you're so conservative, you think you're so caring, you think you've got it right, and it's a joke. I heard Sean Hannity on the radio today saying that they did have proof that Niger sold uranium to Saddam. The White House admits that's not true. They're still on the air saying Saddam had mass graves. That was admitted a day after that it was made up from the beginning. Those so-called mobile weapons trucks, they were for pumping up balloons, surveillance balloons, sold to Saddam by the British. They knew day one off the serial numbers. Not defending Saddam Hussein. The point here is they lie to you. And I heard Sean Hannity, he would only put on stupid liberal callers he could slap around. And they'd all be, well, I like the Democrats, and I like blah, blah, blah. And I think it's, blah, blah, blah. And he'd slap them around, no intellect. If you're intelligent, you can't get through on those shows. If you're not liberal or conservative, but if you're a populist, a freedom lover, a constitutionalist, you can't get on. And Hannity was going, it's never been proven that they lied about this intelligence. The White House admits months before they were told it wasn't real. Bush said he never read the speech. The White House has photos of him on their archives where they were showing the president get ready for a speech, where he's circling and drawing lines in the speech. The point is, folks, that they build up this image of this big liberal media, and they build this conservative revolution against it. And then they bring it to fruition, and suddenly the liberal media is all for Bush, and the so-called neocon media is all for Bush. It's all just a scam. They give you the illusion of choices. And I talk about this a lot. It's just, there's so many tactics they use. Like I've got these articles here where the Total Information Awareness Network is being defunded. The government's not going to spy on you. That program got killed. And they're not going to get rid of Posse Comitatus, the law that bars putting troops on the streets. And they're not going to have the TIPS program. Well, they're putting troops on the streets all over. They're conditioning us. They are getting rid of Posse Comitatus. They did in 1996. I've had the former JAG officers on my show. TIPS is now called Talon and got its funding increased. Total Information Awareness Network was set up decades ago. It's known as Echelon. DARPA, the head agency, put microphones and cameras in Austin 5 years ago, according to the Statesman. But see, we have memories here. We have the news articles. We've made films about this. We told you they'd use terror to do this. We laid out exactly what they do. And you know it. You saw us do it. Because we understand their agenda and their program. This is deadly serious. And mark my words, if Bush's approval rating drops below 40%, the globalists are going to launch massive terrorist attacks so he can pose as our savior again and stand around with some ignorant firefighters who are being conned and talk on his bullhorn about how much he cares about America and how he's going to protect you as the big war chief. And the poor firefighters don't know they're standing around the equivalent of John Wayne Gacy and Ted Bundy. I have to watch Ted Bundy stand around with the firemen, the cops, and go, see, I'm going to fight whoever buried all these bodies in the basement. You know how painful that is? To watch the equivalent of Ted Bundy or John Wayne Gacy up there and to know it's admitted. It's a laughing stock worldwide. Everybody knows the government did 911 overseas. It's just so much evidence. It's ridiculous. But they know you can't deal with the horror of it, so you're going to go along with it. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
How you doing?
Alex.
Yes.
We are the dead. 2 plus 2 is what, Alex?
We are the dead. You are the dead. The bells of St. Clement's. You're talking about 1904 illusions. What
Say
else?
it, Alex.
Pardon me?
2 plus 2 is what?
Well, 2 plus 2 equals 4. And freedom is the ability to say 2 plus 2 equals 4.
2 plus...
You been drinking a lot, or what's going on? Nothing to say. All right, thanks for the call. Go ahead, caller.
How's it going, Alex?
Pretty good.
I'd like to talk to you about the World Council on Churches and them using religion as an approximation of world government.
Publicly stated, the Christian churches are being promised tens of billions of dollars. The World Council of Churches is funding them, and they're publicly stated to push world government. And now the Baptist churches have UN Day, Anti-Gun Day, the left-right synthesis into the neo-fascist state. And religion's going to be a big part of it. The patriotic church wrapped in a plastic, desecrated American flag.
Well, I'd like to talk to you also about John Foster Dulles and his association with Nazis in the World Council on Churches. And he using pro-Nazi literature for pretty much using it to gain political stance and, turn, using your, how you say, using doublethink, And, whatever you have to say about that, I'll just listen. And thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, a bunch of these guys funded Hitler and then set him up for a fall, and then use the same system here. And that's all they've done. Let's go ahead. You're on the air. Welcome.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I was just wondering, what are your times, man? What time do you come on these days? You're like on at midnight now. You used to be on like on Wednesdays and Fridays. So what are the times that you're on now?
We tape live shows we do.
I understand that.
And then we turn them in and they air whenever they feel like airing them. It's important that people call Access TV and tell them they want to see more of our shows on the air.
Yeah, I've been doing that, but it's like I've been trying to figure out when you're usually on live.
All right, well, let me tell you.
Okay.
I was going live on Wednesday nights, but that's a conflict schedule problem, a scheduling conflict. So we have a tape that airs, generally a newer tape now, from 8 to 9 Wednesdays on Channel 10.
Okay.
That's a set time. Then live Thursdays, 4:30 to 6, Channel 10, and then I come back up here Thursday night from 11:30 to 12:30, and we tape a live show and then turn it into rotate and play again.
God, that's got to be running you ragged. Keep up the good work, man. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Actually, what's run me ragged is eating large pizzas and not exercising. So I've finally started swimming and running every day. So hopefully I'll get back in shape. But this stuff is depressing, but it's more depressing seeing people not being aware of it and just how crazy things have gotten. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Welcome.
Yeah, Alex. When do you think Love Cop is going to be back? Because we're just not feeling safe at night. And I'll hang up and listen.
Thanks. Yeah, I do this character where I wear a Nazi Kurzel helmet and a black ski mask, and I sit up here and go, "This is how the good guys dress. Don't I look nice?" Just to illustrate how crazy it is. And one of the guys that works up here had a great idea. I want to come down here and shoot this. In fact, we'll do this. We'll have a casting call. We'll get the main studio and set a date, and I want 20 people to come down here in suits, and we'll give you the questions to ask. And I want to tape a press conference where you ask Global Love Cop questions. And that would be something fun. We don't do much theater up here, but occasionally, I think I've done Global Love Cop about 5 times in about 8 years down here on TV. So you don't see Global Love Cop much, and I did him the other night. I was pretty tired. I think I did a very good job, but I'll be doing, because he's not loving, he's hateful, and New World Order all the way, and he's in a black ski mask shouting at you going, "I'm the good guy. Good guys wear black ski masks." But then you see that in the real world. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Alex, I'd like to tell you about it. I work at a children's furniture store off of Burnett Road, and within a month we're going to have a program called Identikid where the Austin Police Department comes in and they fingerprint the children, and pretty much they're using it as a like, your kids will get kidnapped if you don't get these thumbprints.
Yeah, and statistically, your child has a better chance of being struck by lightning twice in their lifetime, literally, than being kidnapped. And none of that has anything to do with that. The so-called blood test they give newborn babies, the 3 ampules of blood, one goes to the health department, one to the state, one to the federal. It's admitted for 30 years, I've shown the news articles, they've been keeping that in an illegal federal DNA database. Now they want to go ahead and have it, and oh, guess what? We've already got your sample. And it's the same thing with Gateway taking free face scans of the kids and thumbprints. Why do they have the kids thumbprint to get their school lunches? No cash allowed. Trains them for the cashless society, gets them into the control grid. It's all about control, training the next generation to be prisoners. And this is their own federal plans.
It just scares me, they're setting it up for so many generations. Our generation is not going to be the only one suffering. It's going to be hell for the generations ahead if we don't fight it. And
it's incremental.
Yep.
But people aren't buying into this. You go to H-E-B or Home Depot where they're putting in the self-checkout lanes, which they admit they plan to phase out the service checkout. As soon as you start using those self-checkout, it's like pumping your own gas. They'll get rid of the service. And then all that happens is service gets degraded. No one saves anything. That's the scam. But just the service thing's bad enough. The big thing is the cashless society control grid. But you go to these lines, people aren't using the self-checkout. But now you'll see 10 self-checkouts and one clerk helping people. You know, they're trying to force you into these. So we've got to boycott it. We've got to say no. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, man, what's going on? I'd like to know if you know a band called Negative Land.
No, I don't have much time to follow music these days, unfortunately.
Well, it's actually a very unbroadcasted. They try to do as little publicity as possible, but they're an anti-government, anti-corporation kind of band,
You would say, what, anti-corrupt government? I mean, I'm not a revolutionary. I'm a restorationist. I want our country back. I want the corporate mafia that's organized crime. It's not left-wing or right-wing. I want them out of our country. But we've got to first educate the people about this to get that done.
Oh, yeah, and Christianity is stupid.
Well, why is it in this culture? You know, it's the dominant media that on one hand attacks Christianity and degrades it, and on the other hand uses it to promote what they're doing. I'm a Christian, but I'm not the 501c3 corporate church that says spraying depleted uranium all over our troops and children is loving. So, and I think that, you know, Bush is a hypocrite for saying he's a Christian and then being a member of Skull and Bones. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, am I live?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So many guys have called in tonight. I haven't heard many other women call.
Well, good to hear from you.
Yeah, it's Jackie Blue. I know I've seen many of you guys there and was thankful to see Chris Athanas and Cordes earlier. That was a special show. They had all three of them live. It was good. But I guess my issue, Alex, to you is I hope that you continue to find the strength to take care of yourself.
Oh, I do. I feel great.
You know?
I've been up since 7 in the morning, though. I mean, everybody's telling me, Alex, keep it up. We appreciate you. I'm great.
I know. I mean, I'm kind of stretching those hours, too, and staying up.
Tony the Tiger here, whatever he's called. They're great.
That's good, you know, and I'm doing what I can to expose the New World Order and the Bush cabal, etc., as I can.
But you realize Bush is just a puppet.
Oh, of course. In the worst way. One thing that I did do, in addition to having a Liberty Badnarik bumper sticker on my car and taking his Constitution class, was to display the U.S. flag, the stickers that they send to you, and, you know, here's your bonus. So you have a American sticker. I am turning my U.S. flag upside down.
Which fools think is disrespectful. All it's saying is that the country is in distress.
Exactly.
And that's what you're supposed to do. And I agree with you. Here is a letter from the National Security Council by Dr. Henry Kissinger. This is public, of the plan to reduce and sterilize half the world's women through medications and vaccines. This is an official document. It's on Infowars.com. This is just his letter. There is a lengthy State Department report written by the Central Intelligence Agency about their plan to sterilize half the world's women. And here was a story out of Africa2000.com, privatizing population control. They told the third world you can have $200 billion in block corporate assets located in developed countries if you'll sterilize your women. And they do it all over the world. But you trust the government, you take the vaccines they give you. So, I mean, this is what's declassified, folks. And there's just, go to Africa2000.com and just type in population control. And they got links to the Library of Congress where you can just go read where they say they want to exterminate you. I mean, but they know you don't go to Library of Congress. They know you don't, and the average person just can't wrap their mind around it. I just read the LA Times where they're doing this. I'm out of time, folks. I do a show every day from 11 to 2 at Infowars.com. It's syndicated on over 100 stations around the country. And at night, they re-air the show on 1260 a.m. Also, Saturdays and Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. on 1260 a.m. And a lot of folks tune into that. And we have a lot of great guests and people on the radio show. I'm proud of the radio show, proud of the websites, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, JonesReport.com, and Infowars.net. And I want to invite you to come in and get your own Access TV shows. I want to invite you to get involved politically. Take Michael Bagnerick, just got involved a few years ago. He was on C-SPAN just the other day in a libertarian candidate debate all over the country, debating, talking about the New World Order, talking about how the government's behind terrorism, talking about loss of liberty. You can do that too. I mean, I got involved in this fight 8-9 years ago. And I've got a syndicated radio show, and I've written a book, and I've got films that, air on national TV, like the Trio Network. And, I've been in a Fox Searchlight movie, never tried to be in a movie, just people called up and put me in it. Never, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying you can affect change. There are good people in the system. We are the majority. We have to start acting like it. And there's so much you can do. So please get involved. I'll be back next week live on TV and back tomorrow during the day from 11 to 2 on the radio. And you can always listen at Infowars.com. Remember, the government's going to carry out more terror attacks. It's an illegitimate government, and they carry out the terror and then pose as our saviors. You better figure that out, or they'll get away with murder over and over again.
Hi, this is David Thibodeau, and I love the Mike Hanson Archives.
Absolutely. Okay, folks, thank you so much for watching Mike Hanson Archives. Stay tuned right here for more classics with Alex Jones. But to support this channel, what do I say? You've got to buy the book. That's how we support this channel, Victoria. And it takes a lot of money. It's about $1,200 a week I'm paying these people in this office. And it's very expensive. And even if you got a book, get another one. Send $25 and I'll send you a signed copy of my book. Did I ever give you a book of mine? Well, I'm going to give you one when I get back over there. When you come, Victoria's fixing to come to Gonzales and help us remodel a motel, and her crew. So I can't wait to start working with Victoria again. But in the meantime, I need help out there to get this book sold and get some more money coming in to Mike Hanson Archives. So call. Cammie will be right there to answer your call if you call 830-672-3089. Or you can write us here at P.O. Box 481 in Gonzales, Texas. All right, folks, stay tuned for more classics right here on this channel, band.video on Infowars.com. Thanks a lot and God bless. You have anything to tell the folks out there?
I love Mike Hanson's Archives.
Oh, now that's what I wanted to hear. I had to see this. Do that again.
Welcome to Friday.
Yeah, everybody's trying to do something here. Look at all this. We need to get them to take all the trash out. Boy, it's like, the boss has to take the trash out and do everything around here. Buffy's gone.
Calgon, take me away!
Yay!
It's the best and most comprehensive book on Bohemian Grove, and it's written by Mike Hanson, my old camera guy.
Mike Hanson Archives.
You ready to run? Okay, folks, this is Mike Hanson here, and if you ever want to get your thrills on the Texas bucket list, come right here to Howard's in Shiner, Texas. And it's been here since 1984. You can have a beer and sit in the convenience store. It's a really good place here in Shiner, Texas. Just 14 miles down the road from Gonzales, Texas. And here's a little piece of video when we were there, Steve, Blaha, and myself. There is a lady that we're talking to here in the video that's there every single day drinking a beer. So come on down to Howard's, Shiner, Texas. We're at Howard's in Shiner, Texas. Now, Steve, tell your favorite saying that you saw on TV. Say it loud.
It's well worth your stop on the Texas bucket list.
And no, you're not no 70 years old over there. Tell her what you said a while ago. She's gonna be 80 July 24th. You know my birthday's July 26th. Are you a Leo? Oh, same with my son. Oh, well, he's a Leo, I know. Well, like I told folks, like I told her, she don't even look 70. She don't even look 60. She is young looking. Do you work here? You were on that TV show. You work here? Oh, she comes in every day, but she was on the Texas bucket list. You saw her on there, Steve, didn't you?
They interviewed her. Yes, they did. And a couple of...
Right there. Now she's going to be interviewed again. All right, what was your name? Come see her right here at this is Highway 97 between, Highway 90, just before you get into Shiner. All right, folks, Mike Hanson on Facebook. God bless you.
Mike Hanson Archives on Facebook. Are you on Facebook?
Son, Steve, isn't he a punk? My son is very good looking, isn't he? What is he now, 27? No, 37. Did you want to race? Boy, you must have a good looking father. You must have a good looking father.
He can't hear you. It's too loud.
I said you must have a good looking father and mother.
He can't hear you. It's too loud.
Absolutely beautiful. Ooh, I love it. Don't be running. All the workers running. Just showing how nice it is. That is beautiful. See how ugly it was before? Ooh, that is ugly. Now I gotta say, that's ugly. But over here, that is modern and beautiful. Let me see a piece of that. Ooh, that is pretty. How do you put that down?
You gotta snap it in.
Oh, you gotta snap it. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, this is beautiful. Don't even try to hide. I got her on speed dial. I got everybody on speed dial. Ooh, that's nice. Hello, folks. It's Mike Hanson from Mike Hanson Archives. And Mike Hanson Archives is sponsored by Guadalupe Valley Services for all your carpentry and paint needs. And now here's Victoria.
And I love Mike Hanson's Archives.
Absolutely, folks. Keep watching right here on band.video on Infowars.com. Thank you, Alex, for the channel. We really appreciate it. We're getting some information out. That's why they call it an information war.
Info war.
And we are beating the New World Order.
Every time.
Thank you, folks. Hello, folks. It's Mike Hanson here with Mike Hanson Archives. Please take a moment to watch this short video about my nonprofit, Gonzales Association of Patriots. Please take time to visit the GoFundMe and help your neighbor out. Anything will help us even if it's $5, $20. If you can do more, great. But if you knew how desperate some of these people were, people that are a lot less fortunate than we are, they really need help here in Gonzales, Texas, and we're really trying to do that for them. So take a few minutes here to watch this video about our nonprofit, and please visit our GoFundMe and donate what you can. We really appreciate it, and thanks a lot, and God bless. Because I know you need help with your food and everything else. So that's from the Gonzales Association of Patriots. We always try to do something good for somebody every single month. We try
I love you, Mike. I love everybody. Thank you.
There you go.
Everybody.
Buy what you want with it. Buy you something nice once in a while.
I love you, Mike.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Well, hello, folks. It's Mike Hanson here. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about our nonprofit organization here in Gonzales, Texas. It's Gonzales Association of Patriots. We started it back in 2016 to help the less fortunate people here in Gonzales, Texas, and there's a lot of them. People are getting their electricity cut off. They can't make the gas to even get to their jobs. So we help them along the way as much as we can. We're not that big, so we would like to get bigger and get a lot more money to help people with. And so we have started a GoFundMe there. Just look below. Just look below here, and you'll see the GoFundMe. And here's a couple people that we have helped lately, and hopefully it will move you to give a little bit to our organization, Gonzales Association of Patriots. Hello, folks. It's Mike Hanson here with Gonzales Association of Patriots. What we do here on this organization is we help people that are less fortunate here in Gonzales. And what was your name, ma'am?
Lauren.
Lauren, you have fallen on some hard times, and I hate to hear that. Tell us what the city. They cut your electricity off, then they want to charge you more deposits. We put you up in the motel for a couple days or a week while it's been really, really cold, and we're gonna give you gas money to try to get some more help. But folks, we have a GoFundMe. If you look right here on the screen and look below this video, go to the GoFundMe if you'd like to help Lauren. How much do you owe on your electricity bill? I mean, it's getting up there.
It's like $350, but this is the third time in a month and a half that I've had to pay a deposit. So I paid 3 deposits in a month and a half and almost $1,800 in lights.
And you're living without electricity right now.
Yes.
And we would like to help you. We're down to a couple $100 ourselves in our fund. And if anybody out there, if just 10 of y'all would donate $100, boy, that would be $1,000 we could help you. And Lauren, you're from Gonzales. We help people from Gonzales. We have helped you just about as much as our fund's running out. So if folks, we help people here in Gonzales. If you would just give us the GoFundMe right there, and you can help beautiful people like this out there. You're working hard trying to get, you've fallen on some hard times.
Yes, sir. And then with this heart failure, it's harder to work, physically work. So it's a lot harder.
Well, we're going to try to get you by right now and give you a little gas money. We're secretary. There's Miss Cammie. Give her check from the Gonzales Association of Patriots. Let me show them. It's a legitimate association, And we've had it for about 4 years now, and we help people out.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, God bless you.
Thank you.
Everybody help this lady out. Put it in GoFundMe, and we'll get with you to help you with your electricity bill. All right. God bless y'all out there. Thank you. People donate money to us, and that's how we get this money.
Thank you.
So if anybody, wants to know more about our organization, we're here in Gonzales, Texas at P.O. Box 481.
Thank y'all very much, and God bless everybody that helps people around that are in need. God bless y'all.
Remember, folks, this is not like other things like the Salvation Army and the Red Cross. 100% of what we take in goes back into helping the people. We don't take salaries. We just find the needy people and try to get them to a better place. We give them a hand up is what we do. All righty. Thanks a lot and God bless. It's Mike Hanson here. Please help us where you can. Okay. All right. Oh, hey, this is the prize right here. Right here. I gave $500 for it, and how much is it going to cost me to fix it up? Is this going to be replaced?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my. Oh my. I love this truck. What? Oh my God. Oh, what's that?
See this right here? That thing right here is sort of bent.
Oh, does that matter? We're gonna have to replace that.
See this right here? It's bent up too a little. Got to have a new one of these for both sides, and we got to have a welder come in here and straighten this
y'all
up.
are really hurting my feelings.
Yeah.
Did we know that? But look how good this truck is.
Yeah, this good truck.
Yeah. Okay, where's my donor truck?
Huh?
Where's the donor truck? This one?
Yeah.
Come over here.
Yeah.
Let me show you why we can't use this one.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no, look at
I paid $400 for this truck to get it.
This is rusted out. No good.
I tried to take it out.
Oh.
No, look.
You sure we can't just...
No, I want to do it.
What about Julian? He have one?
It's rusted out.
It's rusted out. Look at
But we're going to use this one? We're going to use this
I got
one?
to use it. That's right here.
Okay, where's my hood?
Right here.
Okay, we're going to use the
Then
blue.
you gotta go and put it on.
Hey, all you need is a little white now. Red, white, and blue.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Red, white, and blue.
Those things we showing you over there, that's what
Yeah.
the bumper hooks do.
See,
Somebody cut them off on this one.
Oh, hell.
Not in
It's
there.
food on.
I don't need no, like my wife said, oh, you got to paint it. I don't need no paint as long as it's running. I don't care. It's a work truck, folks. That's a nice truck. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know.
I ain't worried about it.
Somebody say, there's Mike coming, that old piece of junk.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, you go right. He's a carpenter. Carpenter.
No, mechanic.
No, body
The
shop.
best mechanic. Look
Body
how
shop,
dirty
body
your
shop.
look. Show your hand. Boy, you work hard. Boy, I tell you.
Look at that. Hard. Look at that. Look at the hands.
You
Look at
see
the
my
hands.
hands?
Look at the
I
clean
worked
hands.
hard today.
Ooh,
Look,
look
look, ooh.
Look at that.
I worked hard today.
Ooh, God.
I had to shake a lot of hands this
Look
today.
at that. Look at my hand.
Mike Hanson Archives, sponsored by Guadalupe Valley Services, with all your carpentry and paint needs in the Gonzales, Texas area. Now, back to the future.